So hey guys, today I'm doing the part-time YouTuber tag. I've wanted to do this one for so long, so I'm really excited to be filming the video today. So if you want to find out more about what I do on the side, etc, then stay tuned. So hey guys, it's Becky and welcome to my channel. Hello if you're new there, I am Becky and I do plus size fashion along with some beauty and lifestyle videos. So thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to click subscribe down below if you fancy sticking around. I do upload every Tuesday and Thursday and sometimes, just sometimes, on the weekend as well. Hello to all my lovely regulars. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I imagine you've come to maybe get some juicy gossip about behind the scenes and all that jazz. I am a little bit under the weather, you can tell, but I just thought now was the perfect time to film this video. So if you didn't know, like, YouTube isn't my full-time gig. I think what you consider like a micro influencer. So like obviously I don't make enough money to sustain like a full-time salary, so I have to kind of like, you know, do both. So if you don't know what the part-time YouTuber tag is, I don't know where it first started, but I saw Teresa is Dead's video and I love Teresa is Dead. If you love makeup content, she tells like amazing stories. She's so funny, but I basically saw her do it and I was like, I want to do it. So there's 8 questions and I'm going to try and answer them the best I can. And if you are a part-time YouTuber, please join in. I think it's really nice to kind of like share, kind of like, you know, it's a little bit tricky, isn't it? You know, balancing a full-time job and like YouTube on the side. So I think it's always really good to share. And yeah, I highly encourage, if you have a YouTube channel, to give this tag a go. I tag you all. So for the first question, what is your main gig? Do you work full-time? Are you a student, a parent? Spill the beans. So yeah, as I've mentioned, I do have a full-time job. It is in advertising. I've actually recently started another job. I have moved around quite recently. They have said, like, what is it? Like, it was called like the big resignation or something because of like the pandemic and stuff. So recently started another role. Really liking it so far. The team are absolutely lovely. Everyone I work with super lovely. So yeah, just having a good time there. But yeah, I work in advertising. It's like Mad Men, but obviously set in modern day and a lot less a lot less drinking, a lot less, is there drugs? And that's probably drugs and Mad Men, and you know, a lot less just bad things happening. but like the gist is Mad Men. But yeah, that's what I do. It can be quite long hours, like any kind of like, because obviously we have clients, the brands. Anytime that you have a client, it's always quite an intense job, because they can just kind of say whenever they want something at any time. So it can be quite intense with timings and stuff. So it is all sometimes quite a bit of a juggle to do both. So what made you want to start YouTube is the next question. The pandemic. I started my YouTube channel, I think, in May 2020. I was living in London. I was by myself. I was really lonely. My boyfriend had just moved to Luxembourg and I couldn't see him. And for the longest time, people had told me that I should do YouTube because I loved watching YouTube. And I'd always like talk about like my favourite like beauty influencers on YouTube and like what they'd inspired me to buy. And then my friends were just like, why don't you just do a YouTube? And it wasn't until then that I was like, oh my God, I'm so lonely. I'm so bored. What have I got to lose to start a YouTube channel? Not that I expected it to go anywhere. I think there's so many people trying to start YouTube channels and wanting to be YouTubers specifically, that it just does seem like a challenge to get your following. But when I started out, I said, I think, was I always doing Tuesdays and Thursdays? Or was I doing it? I think I was uploading every other day to start with. But I was doing mainly, well, completely makeup and beauty content. I didn't have a good I still film on my phone, but I think my first video I filmed on a webcam in 2020. Yeah, so I started off doing beauty, and it was quite hard to gain a following because it's such a there's so many people already trying to do it. And then for whatever reason I did a clothing haul and things started to take off, which was incredible. So yeah, that goes on to the next question. What is your channel about? Do you stick to one niche or do you cover a few? So once I found out that you guys loved the plus size clothing haul videos, I did go hardcore into them because you guys really like them, and that is one part of YouTube is, you know, when you get the views, it's really nice. It feels really good. And there was a point up until quite recently that I was doing 2 plus size fashion haul videos a week. It was a lot. It was a lot of effort, a lot of work, a lot of clothes. Not that I kept all the clothes, guys, but also some brands send me the clothes and I got to keep the clothes, but there was a lot of clothes. So also this year I bought my house, which has meant that I have been able to kind of pivot my content a bit. I have my own space that I can decorate. I have a lot more room to do things, and that's meant that I have been able to do more content, and you guys have been loving it. I've been able to do more makeup content in a much nicer environment, and you guys have been enjoying that too. So I did obviously start off with a lot of you finding me from plus size fashion, but I have been going into a lot more kind of like lifestyle, home, and back into beauty because I do love my makeup. Number 4, did you always know YouTube would be a side gig, or do you ever want to be a full-time YouTuber? I will not lie, I'm incredibly jealous of people that can be full-time YouTubers. I think that is an incredibly privileged position to be in. And okay, it is a bit of a pet peeve. And, you know, these are some YouTubers that I really like when they're going, oh, like, it's so hard being a YouTuber. Like, you have to do all these things. And I'm like, yeah, I have to do all those things and a full-time job, babe. I don't think, though, I'll ever give up my career. I've worked incredibly hard for my career. It does offer me stability. It offers me a salary. And to be a full-time YouTuber, the amount I would need to be earning from the platform is quite considerable, because I'd also want there to be like buffer money on top of that in case anything did happen to YouTube. I think that's the one thing in my head with YouTube is it's never a certain thing. Like, I always know adverts are always going to exist, and there's always going to be a place for me in that world. But YouTube, like, one day YouTube can just be like, oh, we're not doing AdSense anymore. Okay. Or YouTube could just shut down completely, or just my audience doesn't like my content anymore. They grow out of it, or they just get bored of it. Like, nothing is certain with YouTube, and that's scary. And obviously I've just bought a house, so I've gotta pay for that mortgage. So although I'm incredibly jealous of full-time YouTubers, and I would love to be a full-time YouTuber because I would make so much more content as well. Oh, it'd be amazing. But I just don't think I will ever be one, which is fine. I still like to be a part-time one. What is your schedule like? When do you film? When do you edit? I film on the weekends. I try and batch film. That's one thing I've kind of took from my industry, is the kind of production, kind of taken on a couple of their tips and trying to utilize time and try and film multiple videos in one day. So I will film 2 or 3 haul videos on the same day. So if my makeup looks the same, if the lighting is shit in 3 videos straight, it's because I filmed them on the same day and the lighting was shit. I'm not into lighting at all. That is just something I'm not good at. I'm not technically minded. I'm also not one to do fancy cameras because I find it unnecessary. Like, I really do. If you want to watch someone with like HD quality videos, go watch one of the big YouTubers. But because I am part-time YouTuber, it's just so much easier to take my footage off my phone and put it into iMovie. I edit when I can. I edit on the train, if I'm into the office, I edit in the evenings, I edit in lunchtimes, just whenever there's a free moment to edit a video. I edit my videos on iMovie. I find it very, very easy and simple, especially for the kind of videos that I do. I think if you were doing something a bit more editorial, if that's the right term, then you probably would want something like Final Cut Pro. I tried Final Cut Pro and it was just too much. I didn't need it for my style of content. I like my content to be quite like this. Like, it just feels a bit more down to earth. Because I'm just a normal girl. I'm not some celebrity. I don't need a big SLR camera and 50,000 light boxes in my face. Like, it's just me and you having a conversation about clothes, about makeup. And that's how I like it. I don't want it to be too complicated. How do you keep your YouTube channel organised? Do you plan videos ahead or just film what you feel like? So I do have to try and organise clothing deliveries. So as I said, I do kind of film 2 or 3 clothing haul videos in a day. Therefore I need to like either contact the brands that I want to work with or purchase from the brands. Obviously there are some brands that I do work with on the regular, Yours Clothing, Evans and Boohoo. So I normally just reach out to them and just say like, hey, like, would you be interested in doing a video around, new in for summer or top sale picks or something like that, and I just let them know the date that I'll need the clothing by. I normally have to do that about a week in advance of when I'm filming, so I'll normally reach out to them all on a Monday. But also I obviously like to feature brands that don't gift me clothes, so that's fine. Not every brand needs to gift me clothes. I have enough clothes, but I will have to obviously go through the website, purchase what I'm wanting to try, and some brands take a really long time, like H&M don't do next day delivery, so I have to order them like a week. It has to be a week before I need to film with them, because they just take a really long time to deliver. So it does tend to be, that's the thing that takes the longest to organise. In terms of, one thing I really want to try and do this year is Vlogmas. Obviously being in my house, like, it's going to be my first Christmas at this house. And I do now have time and space to film whenever I like. So I really want to do that. But I feel like I want to start filming for that in like late October, early November, to start getting that content, because yeah, it does take time. And also now, because I am doing just one haul video a week, I do now have to think of other content to film. But I feel like you guys there's always something you want to see, so you guys always help with that. But also, yeah, I think it's nice now that I'm not just doing plus size fashion hauls, but I've been doing a couple of kind of like plus size advice videos which you guys have really been loving. I did one all about travel for the summer. Let me know if you have any other kind of like plus size advice videos you'd like me to do. I have got a couple of ideas as well for the future. So yeah, I never write any down though. I just store them up in my noggin so no one can steal them. How do you feel about sponsored videos on YouTube? Would you ever do one on your channel? Well, if you've watched my channel, you've probably seen that I do sponsored videos because YouTube is a lot of work. There are times when I'm like, I would rather be not editing this video right now. That is why I do Tuesday and Thursday, because with YouTube, once you drop off, once you stop, it's very hard sometimes to get back on because it is a lot of work. So when I'm in this routine of I do this every 2 weeks, it's fine. And I have to stick to that Tuesday, Thursday to keep the momentum going. And it is a lot of work. And I do think that I deserve some monetary compensation for the effort I put in for you guys, basically getting free content. YouTube is free. There are ads, but it's not, you don't have to pay a TV license, you don't have to pay a Netflix subscription. You can obviously choose to do YouTube membership, and some people have, what are those things called, you can like be part of their gang, I don't know what it's called. I don't have that. But at the end of the day, the sponsors that I do, everything's just down to you guys if you want to. It's just basically another little ad where I get 100% of the money. YouTube get on AdSense, I think, sorry if you can hear the sirens. YouTube, I think, get 40% and we get 60%, or it's the other way around. But it's basically just popping another ad in my content. It is a brand that I actually like doing a sponsorship with HelloFresh. What a dream come true. Or it's, like a plus size clothing brand or something like that I know you guys are going to be interested in. So yeah, I hope you guys don't mind me doing the sponsored content, but it does kind of, yeah, it does make sticking to my routine worth it, if that makes sense, because it is it's hours and hours a week that I could spend doing something else. But I do like doing YouTube, but I think you get what I mean. Like, there are days when I'm just like, I have to do this to get this video out, but I wish I didn't have to do this right now. What do you think the biggest challenge of doing YouTube is part-time? Well, it is just the time element. Like, it'd be so amazing to be full-time, but like I said, salary. Yeah, it is and also there is always this kind of, I guess, fear of potentially like saying something or doing something wrong on YouTube, and then someone being so angry about it that they go out of their way to find where you work and get your work involved in something that, one, you probably didn't even mean. Like, obviously I don't you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't obviously like have anything nasty to say, but if something comes off in the wrong way or something and it just goes too far, that's always a fear that work will somehow get involved with something that isn't anything to do with them. Like, I know that has happened to some creators in the past, where they might have gone on a rant, they might have said something inappropriate or something wrong, and while you can obviously leave a comment saying like, that was wrong, you shouldn't have said that, I'm not going to subscribe to you anymore because I don't agree with what you said, I'm not going to support you anymore, etc, etc. I think that's all well and good if someone has said something that you disagree with, blah blah blah, but to then go out of your way, find their employer and potentially like damage their way of getting income, or career they've worked really hard for because of something they've done on YouTube. I just don't. So that's always like a worry for me. If I say something that's going to upset someone, like, obviously, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to upset anyone, but like, if someone takes something that I say the wrong way, I'm not even like a drama or whatever channel, or clickbait, but you know what I mean? Like, it's always just like, oh God, like, that would be worst nightmare. And I think it's something that cancel culture has really affected the community, is that fear of just saying something slightly wrong and it just being completely taken out of context. So I think that's a really big challenge at the moment. And yeah, just not having the two crossover. Luckily, my current place of work is very, very, very chill with what I do. But also, I do also really appreciate you guys respecting my boundaries with work as well. Like, I've never had anyone kind of be like, I know where you work. So that's really great too. But yeah, it's time and worry. They're the biggest challenges. But yeah, that is the end of the part-time YouTuber tag. If you have any other questions, do let me know in the comments. I have also been thinking about doing a video about starting a channel for the first time. If you'd be interested, if you have ever wanted to start a YouTube channel, let me know if you'd like me to do that video. I think that could be a really good one as well. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you do have any other questions for me. I will do my best to get back to you and answer them. But also, if you do have a YouTube channel yourself and you are a part-time YouTuber, please do this tag and tag me in it. Let me know. I want to watch it. I want to hear all about you and your journey and experience. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and it was a little bit of like an insight into how the two worlds combine. But yeah, if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Bye.